Let's dive.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Cat's Corner. I just want to send a giant thanks to everyone who is listening and give a thumbs up to those who are new because you guys are awesome for giving me a chance. Growing up, a lot of my favorite video game characters were women. These characters always held a special place in my heart and was an inspiration for many of my own characters as they helped answer the question of how do you create a strong female character. Today, I will be talking about three of my favorite women in video games. This list is my own personal interest. There's no ranking. Instead, it's just three characters that I have been drawn to, whether it's their background, personality, or just simply the design of the character. This list is strictly video game characters, and while I do plan in the future to make more lists of my favorite interests from comic books, video games, TV shows, and other topics such as recipes, wrestling, supernatural creatures and stories, and anything else that I feel I want to share with you guys. If you guys have any topics or suggestions that you would like to hear me talk about, please let me know. Send them to catscorner34 at gmail.com or comment them down below. Now, on to the list. First, we'll be starting out with Tifa Lockhart.
How sweet. When did you get
I
so
will admit,
thoughtful?
it took
Guy
me
can
the
change.
longest time to sit down and play Final Fantasy VII, the original. My first introduction to Tifa was Dissidia on the PSP. And Dead Fantasy by the great Monty Oum, which I will have a link down below since it's one of my favorite YouTube series and I think everybody should watch it at least once. Once I played the remake of the Final Fantasy VII, it led me to playing the original. And that is when my love for Tifa truly grew and I understood why the Final Fantasy VII community loved this character and also the other characters who we were introduced to. Tifa, in my opinion, was a really good example of showing you the party mom of the group. While she is often shown having a gentle, almost shy personality, she also shows having a bold personality and someone who is willing to defend her beliefs and vocalize when she disagrees with something. We're introduced to Tifa in Final Fantasy VII. She is the childhood friend of Cloud and a member of the eco terrorist group Avalanche. Using her bar, Seventh Heaven, she is able to provide Avalanche with, and more importantly, the character Marlene, a home and safe haven. She also tries to be the voice of reason and prevents the group from becoming corrupted or doing anything that they will truly regret. While she is shown to have a gentle and quiet personality, we learn quickly that she is able to use her martial art training and knuckle weapons and become a dangerous asset to the party, as she is able to survive encounters even with the dangerous Sephiroth. One of the reasons I personally find Tifa interesting is because of the fact that she is able to balance the personality of being a fighter and a lover. Well, at times she is closed off. When she does show her true emotions on the topic, you feel it and you know those are her actual emotions. And she gets you, as the player, to care about what is going on. Now, for a bit of story time, I may also be biased towards Tifa and the other characters on this list because when I've created my own role playing characters, they have been huge inspirations for me. And in a lot of ways, my character Leandria, I would say, is built with many of the similarities of Tifa. Leandria is my crafter character, and while she is a workaholic who would rather be crafting, repairing items, and working on her next project, she is willing to set those aside and help those closest to her if they have a problem, and she is willing to go hand to hand with any enemy, no matter their size. My next character on this list is Rain from the Blood Rain series. In the 90s, thanks to Tales from the Crypt, Interview with the Vampire, Gargoyles, Goosebumps, Eerie, Indiana, and Real Monsters, I was drawn to dark, creepier characters and stories. Except for that one old lady in that Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. Fuck that old lady. If a character was scary, I almost immediately fall in love with them. Rain had a lot of ways of checking off all of my boxes, as she not only had a unique look, but also her weapon choice was something that I enjoyed a lot. I will admit, it wasn't until I was older that I truly appreciated the story that also followed her. Rain is a Dampier who works with a secret organization known as the Brimstone Society. Their job is to protect humanity from evil supernatural beings like Rain's father and siblings. Originally, when it came to her personality, she was introduced to us as a headstrong, snarky, and seductive creature. While she is originally shown almost void of emotions, as you follow her story, she also begins to grow into a more lively, expressive, and mature woman. Yes, she still finds time to play with her toys, however, and often justifies the cruelty that she shows by reminding us that she is the monster who eats other monsters. This character has a dark and haunting hit background, and you end up growing to loving her because of the fact that she is a symbol of changing and not following the footsteps of her father or going along with what her sibling wants. However, sadly, the story of Blood Rain has been put on hold, and she hasn't been seen in any media piece since 2011, Blood Rain Betrayal. In 2020, it was announced that a revival was in the works. So hopefully we will see this redheaded Dampier at some point in the future. The next on the list is Miss Ada Wong. Ada, Ada, Ada. Ada was probably my very first woman crush in any media setting. Not just because I found her gorgeous, but the way she held herself drew me in. Resident Evil 2 Ada drew me in. However, it was Resident Evil 4 Ada that took aim with her rocket launcher and fired a missile into my heart. You quickly learn, however, that the most frustrating thing about Ada is the fact that almost everything about her is a mystery, and nothing about this woman is actually known. It's not even confirmed that Ada Wong is her name or if that was just another alias that she used. What we do know about this woman is that in 1997, she was hired to get close to Dr. John Clements to gain access to Arkley's laboratory. Ada was given a simple task of building a relationship with John and obtaining Umbrella's classified documents that would benefit their rival company, the organization, or the rival company. Which, side note, moments like this, I have to wonder if the name, the rival company, was an actual name suggested or if it was just used as a placeholder and someone forgot to change it. And by the time that they noticed, it was too late, so they just decided to go with it. Anyways, back to Miss Wong, if that is her real name. Ada was hired once more in 1998 to steal the sample of the G virus that William Birkins was developing. It's revealed that not only is she able to get into places that she has no business being in, but she's also able to handle the jobs and tasks that she's given and any difficult requests without feeling guilty or being traumatized by the situations around her. Similar to Tifa, one of the reasons I love Ada is because of my character Endrin. Endrin is my vampire assassin who is cold, calculating, and she'll do anything to finish a job, even if that means breaking hearts along the way. During scenes, Ada has become an inspiration on how I would want Endrin to plan, react, and follow through on a job, even if she has to go as far as to marry the target to remove them from the situation. These characters hold a special spot in my heart, and I could talk about them all day. I'm excited to reveal more characters that I enjoy, that I've created, and stories that will either make people laugh or realize why I am the way I am. So, now we're going to be working on making a menu. One of my favorite things to do is look up new recipes and figure out what meals to make. I have decided that every episode we are going to explore food ideas, and I will be using the wheel to spin and pick a meal for us to create. I will be making an entree, a side dish, a dessert, and maybe a drink to go with them. If you guys have any recipes or themes that you would want me to try or to add to the wheel, leave them in the comments below or send them to me at my email. As this is a remake of the original video, I already did the spinning of the wheel, uh, and the topic that won was School Daze. I think the one meal that no matter what grade or school I went to, we had a the one common thing was pizza day. Usually it was every Friday. We would go to the cafeteria, and it didn't matter where I was living at the time. My mom had a habit of moving us around. So originally, I was born in Quincy, Mass, and then I lived in Braintree, Massachusetts for a little bit until middle school, where we moved to Providence, Rhode Island, and eventually I ended up back in Boston, Massachusetts. The one consistent thing was, as I said, pizza day. It was a simple meal: Ilio's pizza, a spoonful of corn, a wheat roll, and for dessert, you had your choice of red jello or chocolate pudding, both coated with whipped cream. So originally, I was going to go and just pick up those, make this traditional school lunch, Ilio's pizza, all that. But I realized that would kind of be cheating. So instead, I decided that for Mondays, everything has to be an original idea as well. Packaged food can be used, but it has to be incorporated and it can't be the whole thing. So instead of Ilio's pizza, I decided that we are going to go with one of my favorite meals: English muffin pizzas. The toppings will be cheese or pepperoni, as that was the options in school. Honey roasted mixed vegetables, and instead of a wheat roll, we'll be using the Cheesecake Factory's at home brown bread. I've heard this bread is amazing. I've never actually tried it, so I am very excited to try it. The last and final thing is the dessert. Now, originally, I was going to just go buy snack packs, but as I mentioned earlier, uh, I want everything to always be new, and I want to test and push myself to try new things. So instead, we are going to use the recipe that I found on Crazy for Crust, and it's going to be a Whopper pudding and whipped topping. I will be leaving a link below if anybody wants to try this. If you do try it, please make sure you tell me what you think and if you can think of any improvements or what your favorite school lunch was. So, as a reminder, the meal is going to be English muffin pizza, pepperoni or cheese, honey buttered mixed vegetables, brown bread, and chocolate whoopie malt pudding. Now, I don't have the ingredients currently at the time of this video, so I will be going out and I will be buying those items and I will videotape myself setting up, preparing, and cooking the meal. And then I will get the opinion of the husband and the minion, and that will be shown next video. The next section that I am going to do is Crafty Corner. This is going to be our experimental section, and as we are going to be similar to the menu, we're going to use the wheel, and the wheel is going to randomly pick a new hobby for me to try out. Now, just like with the menu, because of the fact that this is a redo video that I had to remake, um, we already picked, and the winner was La- Lapidos. It's something where you engrave crystals and use crystals and rocks. Uh, lap Lapidary. I think that's how you pronounce it. Because I don't know much about it. I did look it up on Google, and there's actually a gem and rough ink and a store. So I am hoping it's opened only by appointment. So I am hoping that I might be able to set up an appointment with them and I might be able to talk to an employee while learning this craft and getting that all on video and to show you guys. So hopefully that will work um, as I'm expecting it to. And next episode, we'll be able to see that. Currently, the way that this section is going to work is I will pick the hobby, which we did, and then I will work on a project. And until that project is finished, each episode I will be showing you the state of the project. And then once the project is completed, we will spin the wheel again and we will pick something new at random. If you guys have any hobbies, projects, tips, or even pictures of your own hobby, it doesn't have to be related to what we're doing. Please send them to me and show them to me. I would love to have a conversation and learn more about what is introduced and what people are into. Okay. Now, I'm excited to get to know new and old people. I am excited to sit down and talk to people. And that is also the plan that I want to do. I want to talk to as many different people as possible. So if you guys have a topic, debate, conversation, something you want to show to the world, please let me know. I want to know about everything and anything. And as far as taboo topics, I as long as it can be civil, I am open to talk about anything. My goal is to learn and to share stories, advice, and help people promote the things that they care about, whether that is something that they've created, something that they've experienced. I just really want to learn more about the culture and people around me and kind of break down those walls. Since this is the first episode, I don't actually have anyone to share the spotlight with. Instead, I will take this time to explain why I am doing this show and what I want from it. So, the last year has been really stressful. Back in, I believe it was August, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and for about the last 9 months, it has been a wild ride. I ended up getting a double mastectomy in November. Um, my lymph nodes in my right arm were removed in December. Um, they were hoping that with the double mastectomy, that would be the end of it. They tested 5 of the lymph nodes and 3 of them came back cancerous. So they wanted to remove the lymph nodes. I've been dealing with chemo treatment since then. The first that they had me on was the Red Devil. Now they have me on, I think it's Paxilo. I will warn you guys, yes, I am going through this experience and it is very serious. Um, I'm not good on the words. It's a lot of medical jargon that I have a really hard time pronouncing. So if I mess up, if I say something wrong, it's just bear with me. um Along with the cancer, the breast cancer, and dealing with the fact that due to genetics, I have the BRCA1 and 2 um gene. Basically, in my family, cancer is just a hurry up and wait, hurry up and see if those genes become active or not. I've also been dealing with. I had a stroke 2 months ago, and this month, I broke my ankle. I broke my ankle in 3 places, and dislocated the joint from my foot. So I had to have ankle surgery. Um, and with all of that going on, I realized, along with changes in friendships and family relationships, um, I don't believe I am the same person I was a year ago. This whole journey has been strange and wild and chaotic and emotional. Um, and it's really strange because I thought at the age of 36, I would know who I was. And I'm realizing that's not the case. I don't know who I am. I am learning who I am. And I figured this would be a good way to help me relearn who I am and to share why I am the way I am and kind of get some mental stability back. In a way, I could joke and say that you are all my therapists, um, and you're stuck taking a journey with me if you decide to keep watching. Um, but I'm really excited about this journey of self-discovery, and I'm excited to see who's there and who's not and who's willing to listen and what changes happen. And I just want to say thank you once again for giving the video a chance and taking a chance on listening to me talk. If you guys finished this video, I am so grateful and I thank you guys once more. And I also want to say, if anybody is working on art pieces, music, a future game, or conversations, or programs, or whatever they want to promote, anything that they want to share with other people, please contact me at catscorner34 at gmail.com. I would love to have a talk about what you guys are up to and what you guys are working on. I also want to give a special thank you to Silver Knight. He is my husband, and he has been so supportive with everything. He's been just amazing. My minion, Illy, Curvy, Voodoo, Mix, and my oldest friend in the world, Lonzikins. I also want to say a thank you to Tuts, AEP, and I Am Panics. They created the scene packs that helped me show off the characters of Blood Rain and Tifa. If and that's it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. Bye.